Most mornings start the same for me. Nothing dramatic, just the same routine of getting up early and getting myself moving. I'm not a full-time day trader just yet, but every day I treat it like it's my full-time job because I do know one day with that attitude it will be. So this part might be simple, but it matters a lot. I'm waking up, getting ready, and just giving myself a moment to settle into the day. Trading takes a lot out of you, and having a routine before anything else keeps me steady. It helps me ease into the morning instead of feeling like I'm rushed. So no matter what happened the day before, win or loss, I try to start my day the exact same way. There's something about showing up consistently, even in the small things in life, that just makes me feel like I'm showing up with momentum and structure. And honestly, that's all I'm really trying to build every morning, a little momentum. These small habits might not look important so far, but all these habits combined put me in the right headspace to start off the day. It's early in the morning, everything's calm, there's no pressure yet, and it gives me a chance to get centered before anything else has the chance to pull my attention. So right now, I'm going to experience my first win of the day. Now, I'm going to make my bed. Now, I know this might not sound like a big deal to many people, but there's a whole book on this topic called Make Your Bed, right? So what it's essentially saying is you're giving yourself an accomplishment first thing in the morning, right? Like a lot of people put it off and they say, oh yeah, I'll make my bed later, or they might just go about their day and forget about their bed. But me personally, I'm going to accomplish something first thing in the morning. So I made my bed. So I'm setting the tone for the rest of the day that I'm not going to put things off. And regardless of how small it is, I still started my day with an accomplishment. So right now, I'm ready to go off and conquer the day. Let's go get it.
We feeling good today. Watch me make an entrance. Yeah, I'm the shit today. Antidepressants, antidepressants. Watch me make an entrance. Yeah, I'm the shit today. Pop one, pop two, pop three, pop four.
So the first thing I do almost every single morning is I go to the gym. It's about like 7 a.m. right now. I just got to the gym. A long time ago, I used to go to the gym after I traded, but I feel like through my experience, I learned, at least for me, it's better if I go before I trade. Because one, I feel like you're just not warmed up in the morning, right? Your body's not ready, like your blood's not flowing. Like it's not good to just roll out of bed and just sit in the computer and just start putting your money on the line. It's really not a good idea. And in my experience, there's definitely days where I can attribute me being tired to losing money. So I figure every single morning I'll wake up, get a good workout in, right? I'm going to stay healthy, and it's going to get all my blood flowing, and I can come to the charts with a clear mindset. Because honestly, like that mind-body connection, I feel like if your body's still asleep, your mind's not going to be awake, even if you somehow wake up your mind, right? So you got to get your juices flowing, get your blood moving, everything, right? So I'm about to hit the gym. I'm going to hit chest today, so let's see how that goes. So I first started off with bench. I really don't warm up too much. I just started with like a 25-pound plate on each side, so that's like 95 pounds. That was my warm up. After that, I went to my working set, which is like 135 pounds. I did that for like 4 sets. I typically like to do 4 sets of everything, so I know I'm definitely not the strongest, but when I first started working out, I could honestly barely do 95 pounds. So since then, I've definitely made some progress. Honestly, I do feel like my bottleneck is I need to eat more food, but it's very hard for me with just my fast metabolism. But I've been working out for a very long time now. I typically do like a push-pull leg split. So today it'll involve me doing like chest, triceps, and shoulders. So right here you can see I'm doing another chest exercise. This is like a plate-loaded chest press incline. And I also did some other shoulder movements while I was at the gym. So after I finished off my triceps, I moved into the superset that I absolutely love doing. So I typically do this at the end of my workout. So I do these leg raises that work on your lower abs, and then I immediately go into these dips. I do as many as I can on both exercises, and I typically do like 3 sets of this. It's an amazing way to guarantee I leave the gym feeling sore. And then after this, just to finish off my abs, I had to do something for my upper abs. So I did pretty much like this sit-up machine, I guess you could call it. You're basically just contracting your abs, because honestly, like if you don't have a strong core, your whole body as a whole is not going to be strong. And then if I have the energy, I do come into like the boxing room and I hit the speed bag for a little bit. Honestly, if I'm like not in a good mood or I just have some pent-up energy, it's really a great way to get it out and get out like those feelings or anger. But I definitely had to get a quick pump check in. I've been working out for a long time, and honestly, I'm pretty proud of my physique. Definitely let me know in the comments what you guys think, but I'm not gonna lie, even if you guys call me small, I definitely know I have a sleeper build. Ooh, look at that guy. Boy's got that Dorito back, oh my god.
So right now it's 8:30. I just got back from the gym, so that means I got about an hour till market open. I like to get to my computer about a half an hour before market open. I don't like to rush things, right? Like I don't want to sit down and not be sure what my bias is. And since I do live stream, I don't want to be sitting down and being like, oh my god, I gotta start up OBS. I gotta get ready to open chat. I gotta do this, right? So I just like to come into the market with a calm mindset. So I'm gonna get ready half an hour before market open. So right now, before I start getting ready, I'm definitely gonna have some breakfast because like if I just hit the gym, my brain needs some power, right? I can't just go to the charts on an empty stomach. So typically, one of my more typical morning like meals is I just have yogurt. So like I have like these Chobani yogurts. They're like all natural. There's like no artificial sugar or anything. Good protein. It's like all natural. So I typically eat one of these almost every single morning. And if I'm still hungry afterwards, I might have something else small. But I'm about to eat this right now. So now, this is the least glamorous part of my morning. If I have time after I eat my breakfast, I typically just do the dishes because I feel like in my house, this is one of the ways we break up responsibilities, right? So I typically do dishes. So there's not many this morning, but I'm definitely going to do them because it's just nice to have nothing to do after I'm done trading. Like I can really have the rest of my day to myself pretty much. And also, I always make sure I have this reverse osmosis water filter over here. I always make sure that thing's fully stocked up because honestly, I'm kind of like a health freak and I love having clean water. And I feel like this thing just gets used so quickly between everyone in my house. So like I'm always one that keeps on top of this. So I'll clean this thing if needed, and then I'll make sure all the water is good for the day. Because we actually keep one in the refrigerator. So we have cold reverse osmosis water, and then we have the room temperature reverse osmosis water. So right now is the part everyone's been waiting for, right? So it's 9 a.m. We're gonna start getting ready for New York Stock Exchange Open. So this is honestly my favorite part of the day. I love trading with all my heart. So honestly, I'm kind of excited right now. So I'm coming over to my setup in my room. I love this setup with my heart. I'm very proud of it. So we have these three monitors, right? And they actually connect to my MacBook. Before, they used to connect to this computer I built over here, but that computer was getting kind of old and I want something a little more portable for like, let's say like down the line, I start doing more like traveling, right? I want to be able to like bring my laptop with me and like trade on the go pretty much. So this is my MacBook right here, right? So I'll open it up. I'll turn it on, and I have this docking station, just one cable I connect, right? It's gonna connect to this microphone over here, all these displays. I got my webcam so I can live stream. So I got all this stuff hooked up. So I'm pretty much just gonna turn the computer on. I'm gonna start up OBS. I'm gonna start up TradingView. I'm going to start up Top Step X. I'm going to start up my position size calculator. I'm going to start up Forex Factory to look at the economic news. So that's pretty much all things I'll be starting. And also, I'm going to start up my streaming software so I can look at the chat once it actually appears. So I'm going to log in my computer real quick, get all that stuff set up, and I'll show you what it looks like. So I just opened up everything. So starting from my left monitor, going to my right, over here, I opened up Top Step X. So like if I was trading like Alpha Futures, like another program, I would open that up. But I'm currently trading Top Step X. I have 5 Express funded accounts I'll be trading today. So that's that. In the other tab, because we have multiple tabs open here, so I also have my position size calculator. So I can type in my if I'm trading micros or minis, what my account balance is, what my stop loss size is, and then how much I want to risk. And then I'll say, okay, well, if you enter 5 contracts, you're going to risk $500. This is the margin required. In case you forget, it'll tell you like the tick value, tick size, risk per contract, all that fun stuff, right? So people often ask me, like, how do I calculate my position size so quickly? This right here is exactly how I do it. And the last website I'm going to look at is Forex Factory. So I just want to check the economic news. So you can say it's Monday, December 8th. So there's nothing for me to pay attention to today, but I'm always mindful of the economic calendar. So I'll go back to my trading platform. Coming over here, we do have TradingView. If you're wondering why it's not full screen, it's because I'm streaming. And since this is like an ultra wide monitor, it makes things look funny if I make it full screen. So I'm going to give you guys my bias in just 1 second, but I'm just going to show you the software I'm using. And then just on the right side, right, this is a software I use called Restream. So this allows me to restream to multiple platforms because I do live stream on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. And this is just OBS. This allows me to stream. And I'll just make sure that everything's set up right in here because there are times where it'll like forget which window's which. So I have TradingView selected. I can minimize this and show my executions because I always show my executions on live stream. I never take a trade and just say, oh yeah, I entered here. Always got to show executions. But I'm just going to look at this chart real quick. Just Give me 5 minutes. I'm going to get a bias and I'm going to get back to you guys. So the first thing I'm seeing is on the daily, on NQ, we have this unmitigated daily fair value gap, and we're just moving in bullish order flow, right? Like the clear signs that I say that is when we look at this daily fair value gap over here, right? We disrespected that. And when we did create a daily fair value gap, it was a little while ago, but once we created this one, right, you can see we had a very strong reaction out of it. So we're disrespecting bearish PD arrays and we're respecting bullish. So obviously we're just trending up, right? Now, when you go into the smaller time frames, right, like the 1 hour, I see a very prominent high right up here, right? Because me personally, I feel like when there's a high that sticks out for me, like I can back up from the chart and be like, oh wow, that is so prominent. It's honestly a good area to target, and neither NQ or ES have taken that high. So sometimes, like let's say if ES took it, I might be like, oh, well, there's an SMT up there. I don't want to target that. But since neither of them took it, honestly, the thing I'm seeing right now, I think that up there is the clear draw. And then past there, I can see this unmitigated daily fair value gap getting hit, but it's only 12 points apart. So yeah, and then I also like to mark out like the session highs and lows. So I'll go to the 15-minute chart, right? I use an indicator to do this, so it'll just show me the session highs and lows. And I always like to look if there's any SMTs. So there's not today, but let's say if London came out and swept Asia low on NQ, but never actually did it on the other pair, that would be an SMT. So at that point, I might think to myself, oh well, you know what? We're sponsored, right? We're delivering from an area. We don't need to go down and retrade those lows, but there's no really SMT there. So honestly, I would love coming to market open if we could come down and sweep some significant low. Like I know London lows were already taken immediately after, but let's say if we come down and sweep some of these lows down here, take out Asia low or something, get a very clear reaction off of it, I would definitely look to take a continuation long, or it's even possible to at open, we could just rip up and I could be looking for continuation longs. But the only thing is, once we tap into that unmitigated daily fair value gap, from there, I'm not going to be as confident in my bullish bias because, like, I just feel like when the most clear, obvious draw is hit, everything from there gets lower probability. So I'm going to recap with you guys what I did at the end of the day. But now I got to go live stream on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. Let's see how I do. Got like 12 minutes. Let's hope it's a W day. What's up? So today is Monday, December 8th. I'll be trading NASDAQ like I always do. So coming into the session, I do have a bullish bias. I might try this short, to be honest. Only because we edged this low down here, higher time frame. I'm going to try it. So I'll show my executions, because I got to do that. So hopefully we can kind of dump now. So close. It's mad close. I'm out there. So ES took the low. I'm out there. I'm up $644 on my 5 Top Step Express funded accounts. I took only one trade today. I did it on live stream as always. I took this 2-minute inverse. So we closed for this 2-minute. We were delivering from a 5-minute gap. And then higher time frame, there was just this prominent low we were trending toward. So I took this one trade in the day. I'm live on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok as always. W day. Bang. I just took another win on live stream. I'm on a crazy winning streak right now, but I'm going to break down the whole methodology that actually caused me to take this trade. So I know at the beginning I did say I had a bullish bias, and I was talking about this unmitigated daily fair value gap, this prominent high up here getting hit, but neither of those actually got hit on NQ or ES. So honestly, for the longest time, I was looking for longs up to that area, right? Like I was saying, oh, we're coming down into these 5 and these 15-minute gaps down here, but none of them are being respected. And then once I saw we were coming down these stacked lows right here, you can see we came really close to these stacked lows. We actually ended up pulling up. So I saw all these stacked lows down here. It seems like a really obvious draw to me. And honestly, I can't be looking for longs. Like, if you've ever heard the expression catching a falling knife, if I was going for a long all the way down here, I'm essentially catching a falling knife a little bit, right? So we opened up this 5-minute gap. So me personally, I base all of my trades off of 5 and 15-minute fair value gaps. And we literally did not open any 5 or 15-minute gap until this one right here. So this got opened at, when was this? Like, let me see. It was 10:25 or 10:30, somewhere around there, right? So he traded back up into that gap. Honestly, at first, I was honestly trying to take an inversion through this long because I feel like if we inverted it really strongly after, like maybe I could see some bullish reaction, but that was like the actual last line defense, and that wasn't even that high rated to be honest. So what I ended up taking was this 2 minute right here. That was the highest time frame fair value gap in this most current price leg, right? So we came in close through it pretty quickly. I mean, ideally, I would have liked to see like maybe this first candle close through it, but we're still closing through it relatively quickly. The thing that made me hesitate in real time was we didn't close too strongly. We barely closed through this gap, and I feel like a lot of losses I take are situations like this where we barely close through that gap. And then at that point, we had the next candle close, but I wasn't willing to add, so I under risked a small amount on this trade, but I was okay with it because the risk to reward was a little crazy. Because normally I like to go for like 1-to-1, but this was almost like a 2-to-1. Like my entry was actually a little scuffed. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get the best fill I wanted. And actually, if you guys are watching that live recording though, I actually tried to add one more contract and then I bought one, so I had to sell two, and it really messed up my entry price. But essentially, I was saying that once we invert this gap, the most recent internal high or low connected to it is the obvious draw, right? So neither NQ or ES had taken that low. So I ended up full closing when ES took out this low. And obviously, yeah, like NQ did hit my target, but I like targeting what I call the low hanging fruit. In my opinion, that was the low hanging fruit. This was a very obvious draw. And once it got hit on either NQ or ES, I just want to full close and secure my profits for the day. But in case you don't believe me, right, I'll show you up $644. Leader plus 4. Let me just click the thing to show you. They're all express funded accounts, right? Copied to all these express funded accounts. And because I feel like there's pocket watchers, right? I mean, I'll show you. I'll click across. Because one thing I've learned from trading is some people are like, nah, I don't believe you. You're faking this. Like, nope, faking nothing. Here's the P&L calendar. But so that was the trade I took. So right now, this is pretty much the end of my morning, so let's wrap up right now. So the last thing that I do to wrap up my morning is once I'm finished live streaming, I like to record a trade recap video. And it's basically a 2 to 3 minute video where I just record the session, right? And I talk about the trades I took, the trades I didn't take, and I give my logic and thought process behind why I passed up on certain trades, why I actually took them. And I pretty much just break down the session as a whole, and I give my whole like thought process behind 9:30 until when I finish trading. So I feel like there's tons of value in that, and I also use it to promote my live streams. So I'm going to be posting that on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Instagram. So in case anyone misses the stream, that's an easy way that they can just see what happened, see what trades I took, see my thought process for the session. And if you want like a more in-depth look, I always make sure I leave up the recordings afterwards. So like in that live section, you can just immediately, the second the stream's over, just click, watch the recording from start to finish, and you can see like in the moment of me taking the trade, what was I saying, right? And at the end of the video too, like every single live stream, I do wrap up with a recap. So I recap why I took the trade, why I didn't take trades, all the trades I took on the day. So pretty much everyone's getting multiple recaps. And I tell people all the time journaling is so important. And me personally, I don't journal as much as I should. But the reason I don't journal as much as I should is because one, I'm live streaming all my trades, so there's a journal right there. Two, at the end of all my live streams, I'm almost journaling for myself by giving a breakdown, right? I'm showing the setup I took, explaining why I took it. So it's basically like a journal. And then again, I'm recording a video after the stream is over, breaking down the session as a whole, explaining my trades, etc., right? So I've not only like seen these trades in real time, but I've looked back on them twice at that point. And then if there's something I really like can't figure out, like, oh, should I have gone break even there, or something I'm debating on, right? I can just think about that real quick before I actually post my trade recap, the short one, right? So on days where I'm confused, I'm reviewing my trades 3 separate times. So yeah, it would be nice if I had some trade journaling software where I could easily filter by things, but would I use it that much? Honestly, not really. Like, it would be nice to just see my P&L calendar, but I can do that in like TopStep X, for example. But I mean, it's basically just not in the budget. I feel like the risk to reward, like not the risk to reward, the net benefit I'd get from essentially, right? Like some of these trade journaling softwares cost a lot of money. And if I do it myself, like I used to use Notion for the longest time, it's just a lot of work, I feel like, and it's not worth it for the amount of value I'd get. But yeah, so that was pretty much the morning routine I have. No matter what happens for the rest of the day, I try to keep that morning routine locked in, right? Like for the rest of the day, I could go work my part-time job, I could have the rest of the day to myself, I could do whatever. But as long as that is my morning routine, I know I had an amazing start to the day. Because I know further down the line, this morning routine right here is going to be all I have to do. And then after that, I'm going to have 12 on just to myself because I'm making so much money from trading. Because I'm so locked in, bro. Like, I mean, you've probably got this vibe from me before, but I will become a full-time trader eventually. It's only a matter of time. It didn't happen by the end of this year. It's 2025 right now, but I do know it will happen eventually. So if you guys do want to see me live stream, I know I said it before, but I live stream Monday through Friday on YouTube for New York AM session. I usually start between like, let's say 9:30 and 10, depending on the day. But definitely come by. I think there's tons of value, and if you miss the session, the recordings are always posted after. And I come into all the sessions with a bias, like I showed you guys in this video, right? Like every live streaming session, I immediately start and say, hey, this is my bias coming today. So honestly, tons of value. And if you guys are looking for a prop firm to trade with, my favorite prop firm is Alpha Futures. I'm gonna put the link to them down below, as well as my discount code, which is code TIMB272. It's gonna give you 10% off all evaluations or whatever the best current discount is. So I highly recommend checking out Alpha Futures. And I'm also going to put the link to my free Discord. So join that free Discord. You can tag me at any time. I'd be happy to talk to any of you guys. Let's get that community popping. But if you watch this all the way through, I really appreciate it. I would also really appreciate if you give me a like, put a comment down below with your thoughts, and also just subscribe. And lastly, I hope you have an amazing day. Peace out.